Yeah, I'm very excited. This is the Ryder Cup is as good as it gets. It's something that's hard to put into words when whether it's trying to explain it to friends or media, family, whatever it may be. It's something that the feelings that go through your body and head when you're out competing and trying to win points in a Ryder Cup is something that you don't. At least me personally, I don't, and I haven't felt anywhere else. So you just try to use it the best possible way that you can and to your advantage. And it's one of those things that it's not necessarily, it's not over the course of 3 days and who has the lowest score. It's just the only thing that matters is beating that person you're playing against and just grinding it out and just going out and battling with your partner, whoever that may be, and just making the most of it. I definitely haven't kept the receipts. I mean, I feel like there's not really any good that can come from that. After I was picked for the team, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, they're especially when it comes to people and stuff online, everybody's got an opinion and theirs is right and everybody else's is wrong. At least that's what it generally seems to be. So I for that exact reason, I stayed away from social media, stayed away from stuff online because I just knew that nothing good was going to come of it. But the only thing that mattered to me was that the Zach and the vice captains and I guess at that time, other 6 guys in the team wanted me on the team. And I mean, Zach and I had discussions, whenever it was before the picks, and that was kind of what I told him is I'm like, look, obviously, of course I want to be on the team. Yeah, I think that I can compete and I can go out there and I can do great for the team. But at the end of the day, if you guys and the guys, those 6 guys in that room don't think that I'm what's best for the team, then I don't deserve to go. So that's been my thought the whole time, and I'm very glad that they did and do have faith in me. And now that I'm here, all of us hold the same weight as the other one. We're all one, and our job just to go out there and try to win points. I do enjoy it, and I think I shouldn't say the Ryder Cups because again, yeah, I've only played one over here, but Paris was, I don't know, it was. I thought it was very similar. It wasn't. I shouldn't say similar. It was somewhat similar to like Australia for the Presidents Cup, to where it's like, yeah, of course, everybody there is cheering for the international team, and the Aussies were maybe a little more vocal than the Europeans in Paris. But as soon as the Presidents Cup was over, they're the first ones to congratulate you and say well played, and they enjoyed watching you play. And that's the same type of vibes that I got in Paris. Obviously, we got our butts kicked, so that wasn't the case there. So maybe they were just being nice, but no. I mean, I think fans over here, for the majority, are very, very respectful. Obviously, they're going to cheer for the Europeans over the Americans, but they respect good golf. They want to see good golf, and they're here to watch one of the greatest sporting events in the world. And to me, it's pretty cool to be able to play in front of that, and I just try to embrace. I don't necessarily try to hold any grudges or try to point fingers of like, this guy said this, so I'm really going to show him kind of thing. It's like, look, I want to win my match bad enough. I don't need anything to make it worse kind of thing. I mean, I clearly am I'm in a lot better place than I was in certain times in the summer, but I mean, it's golf. That doesn't mean that, something, you never know. I mean, I had plenty of signs of great golf this summer as well. It just was, I had quite a few less of them, and I had more signs of the other. But more than anything, I'm just in a good headspace, and for me, that's what's most important. Because I mean, I've said it in other times in the media, is like I've won golf tournaments without my best stuff, and I take a lot of pride in that, and I have taken a lot of pride in that in the past, and I did not feel like I could win golf tournaments this past year with the state that I was in mentally. Yeah, a lot of that has to do with how I was playing, and one does generally feed off of the other, but I just feel like I'm in a lot better place to where, I mean, Napa's a great example where I can just kind of get it around if I'm maybe not extremely sharp, to where then I just feel like I can keep building and keep building and keep building like I did there for 4, 5, 6 years and just keep trying to get better. Well, I've found it's like anything. I mean, you have to work on what's going on between your ears, just like I do, my yardages with my wedges. And I mean, Julie, who I've been talking to since January-ish, has been extremely helpful for me. I mean, she'll tell you, I mean, not that anybody wouldn't, I'm very honest, but I say everything that's on my mind, and sometimes getting some stuff off just helps. But I think she's done a great job of everything that every place that I've gotten to, it's my way of getting there. She's not kind of a, this is it, this is how you have to feel to get there, because what works for me may not work for you, it worked for you, and so on and so forth. This is kind of our end goal. Now let's kind of keep working different ways to see what's best for you or what makes sense for you to get there. Because especially when it comes to that mental headspace, you can read 15 different things that mean the exact same thing, but they're worded differently, and it's just what works for you. And I just feel like that we've found a place that I'm able to just kind of look at things a little bit differently as they're happening, and maybe not put as much emphasis on negative things that happen, or if bad things do happen, trying to turn them into a positive kind of thing. And also, like I said earlier, playing better does help with that. I'd fully, in terms of the second part of your question, it was probably like 3 or 4 or 5 days after Wyndham, I had just fully accepted that whatever was going to happen was going to happen. I mean, obviously I was going to be happy or upset one way or the other, but I just had gotten to a point for months. I would say really the U.S. Open was a really, really low place for me. I was playing arguably the best golf I've played in years going into there, and I shot 1,000 and almost finished last. So that's a pretty bad feeling, to be perfectly honest. But then I played well the next week, so it just was weird. But I was putting so much emphasis and so much pressure on trying to play well to make the Ryder Cup as opposed to trying to make the playoffs, which is a wild concept, but unfortunately just the way my mind was working. But I don't know what it was. I for some reason that next week after the Wyndham, when those guys were in Memphis, I was off. I just kind of like, all right, I've accepted whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I wasn't losing sleep at night thinking about, well, if I would have done this differently, maybe I could have done that differently, and so on and so forth. And just glad it worked out to the way it did for me to be here.